Now let's talk about how we can resize a photo in Photoshop. There are many reasons we might want to resize. For example, if we want it to fit into a specific space on a website or blog. The best option would be to shrink the photo, i.e. from larger to smaller, not the other way around, because when we make a smaller picture larger, the pixels in it are stretched and the information is lost, which makes the quality worse. Then, the photo will start to look blurry. Like everything else in Photoshop, it has different options, so changing the photo size is done in a specific interface for that purpose. To get to these options, we select Image, then Image Size. A window will appear that contains the settings of the image itself: size, width, resolution, etc. These are actually the controls by which we resize the image. The first thing to do is to check the ratio lock symbol and if it is released or activated. When activated, this connects the width and the height, so if we change the width, we will also change the height while maintaining the original aspect ratio. If this connectivity icon is not active, then if we change one setting, the other will remain at its original size and have a chance of getting the photo very elongated or crushed. Usually, this setting is for cases where we want to make our own document with specific values of width and height. Another thing we notice when looking at Photoshop CC options is that there is a resample checkmark, which means that when reducing the photo, Photoshop will automatically remove some pixels, or if we enlarge the size of the photo, it will add pixels intelligently in order to keep the quality as high as possible. The next thing to examine here is the unit of measure, which by default is in inches. However, the correct unit when resizing a photo is pixels, when the photo will be viewed on a computer display. If the photo is to be printed, though, then indeed we have to choose centimeters or inches, or the appropriate unit of measurement. For example, if we want to get an A4 sized photo, we can't know exactly how many pixels it will be in that format. But we can understand how large this size is and choose the right values in centimeters, millimeters, or inches. Photoshop is flexible and allows us to choose what we need. One more thing that we need to look at here is the resolution box. It plays an important role when it comes to printing. But since we now have chosen a photo for display or for internet usage and won't be printing it, this option doesn't matter much here. Just realize that the larger the area to be printed, the smaller the number here needs to be, and vice versa. The smaller the image, and the smaller the space it occupies, the larger the number must be. Let's give an example. If we are printing for a billboard, the number here should be about 72 pixels per inch, because it will be viewed from afar. But if you're going to print a small area for print in a magazine or catalog, the resolution should be at least 200 to 300 pixels per inch, because the dots must be very close together to maintain quality. It should be noted that when we select this option, if we choose a large height and width of the photo and attempt to have a large number of points, for example 300 or even 400 dots per inch, it will make the file size massive. So be sure to check what settings you choose when resizing your photos. However, if you ever want to print a photo of yours, it's nice to know about print settings. As we mentioned earlier, this is done in the photo resizing settings in Photoshop.